Hi, friends, and welcome to Nature Check's Arda Campaign, the show where you come for the game and stay for the science. Hi, I'm Sheryl. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the Dungeon Master for the Arda Campaign. I'm also a PhD candidate studying ecology at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and when I'm not doing my research, I'm also a science communicator and the host of the Roving Naturalist on YouTube. If you like me and D&D, you can also register for Treetops and Tarasques to come on a tour led by Nancy, where we'll be playing D&D in the Ecuadorian cloud forest. Yeah. Then there's Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm a entomologist slash horticulturalist, which means I like insects and plants. I currently look at those things in the Pennsylvania medical marijuana industry, where I specialize in plant healthcare, which is what I did before this job in public horticulture at a public garden. In our campaign, I play Fletcher, a human wizard, and we both use he, him, his pronouns.
Then there's Nancy.
Oh no, Peter's not here, so I have to mess up the intro for us.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Nancy. I'm an entomologist, which means that I study insects, and I live in Quito, Ecuador. That's why I'm hosting the Treetops and Tarasques, because it's like in my home territory. And basically, I am a tour guide, so I will bring you around the beautiful jungles of Ecuador to look at all of our charismatic megafauna, that being the bugs. Who cares about the birds? Whatever. Anyway, I play an Asimar. Her name is Kay, and she is a rogue, and we use she, her pronouns.
And then there's Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy, she, her. I'm a science enthusiast and play an Andorian engineer over on the Heroes of Awesome Constellation on the Weirdlings Twitch and YouTube channels. But here I'm playing Nautia, the water mephit druid, also she, her.
You all know that you can hang out with us in the Twitch chat, use your channel points to help the PCs or create chaos, and you can check the reference section down below for the social media handles for the whole Nature Check cast, as well as a link to our Discord and our updated streaming schedule and all that good stuff. You also know that you can find the video recordings of our games on our YouTube channel and the audio versions on all podcast platforms. And now is the exciting new part of the show where we roll the intro. So we'll be back in a second. Bye. And we're back. Hi.
Hey.
I really do love that intro so much. It's beautiful and it sounds nice. All right, so recap time. You started this morning by divvying up your newly identified magic items, then went to Pops to get your potions identified. After that, you went to the office of the Royal Academy of Explorers, where you were reacquainted with some people who had been at the party 2 months ago. You spoke to Casper and worked out a plan for how you will share information with him. After that, the group split, with Kay going to work at her family store, Fletcher and Nautia hanging out at the Marked Bird working on the team's report, and Cedric headed to the Orthodox Orthodox Temple of Moradin. His chat with Hammer Graveltank was maybe not what he was hoping for, so he met back up with his friends, and then Cedric and Nautia went to the park in the government district to work on training Nautia's hawk. It's now evening on Hiram, the second day of Palaran, and Cedric had noticed a small group of people gathering at one end of the park, and speaking rather loudly. Since he's not here to speak for himself, I imagine that he would let Nautia know that that was a thing that was happening, and then perhaps he's going to go sleep off the beers that he, like, slammed back before you all went to the park.
Yeah, this is maybe not the scene for you right now, buddy.
He's sleeping off beers and existential crisis.
That
like,
one. Yep.
Disappointment, yeah, like all around.
Yeah.
Crisis of faith? Can you sleep off a crisis of faith?
I don't know.
He has a book. I gave him a book.
True.
He could literally read it.
As we all know, books fix everything.
He went back to read his book. That's where Cedric is.
It makes you feel like you did something,
Yeah.
so it counts.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what happened there. But yeah, Nautia, he has drawn your attention to. So it is evening. But there's a group of people. It looks like most of them are coming sort of like into the government district from like the residential district that's kind of like behind the government district, from various directions. And they're all like sort of, like if you watch for a moment, because you've got a really good perception, you can see that like people are sort of like coming out of the residential district, like sort of like looking around and then like finding this group of people and like, you know, joining this conversation. So something seems to be.
So it's just sort of a crowd that's a rambunctious crowd is gathering?
I don't know if I would call it rambunctious per se, but there's a bit of a, and it's not even a crowd. There's just a handful of people sort of speaking together. They look, I think distraught is probably a good word to use.
Distraught.
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least,
Can I am so blue.
Sure.
Like,
yes,
I'm like,
are.
can I subtly wade into the crowd? And I'm like, I'm not sure this is possible. She's
So
tiny
blue.
and she is blue and made of water.
Give me a perception check to see what you can tell about this group as you're watching them.
All right. Oh, that's not too bad. That's a 22.
Okay. So it's a group of like 6-ish people, some humans, at least one dwarf, and then the gnome that you saw right after you landed on the docks when you first got here. That woman is in this crowd.
The gnome that I saw.
The woman,
Was she like? Did she
the woman who took you to the
like?
to
She
the-
worked. She worked with the fort. Or no, it's just a random sailor or something that I saw.
I don't think Nautia.
I
got
don't
this
remember it at
information.
all.
She's the dock mistress. But
Okay,
she's
okay,
the one
okay.
that
It was
took
someone
you
who
to
looked
the
in
fort.
charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is someone you recognize in there.
Okay. I guess. Can I pick up on what anybody's saying?
Yeah. So you had a 22, right?
Yeah.
So you sort of like inch your way closer and listen. You can hear they're sort of talking over one another and like coming to a consensus that the problem that each of them came looking for help with, they seem to have in common. And it sounds like there's some sort of illness or other like physical medical problem that they are seeking assistance with, not for themselves, but for various
For
family
someone
members
else.
and friends.
Yeah. Am I hearing anything like in the description that's
Of the symptoms?
yeah.
Yeah, there's a variety. Everything from hallucinations to paralysis, words, spasms or seizure type things, pain in limbs, And then you hear that gnome woman that you recognize. She says something, and you catch. She's sort of like older and a little more experienced, and she's putting it all together. And she says something about dragon's fire.
Dragon's fire.
Yeah.
Is that something that sounds at all familiar to me? Like, is that like a...
I don't think that's a thing that Nautia would have encountered before, no.
Yeah, just dragon's fire.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know what a dragon is, and you know that some dragons breathe fire, but, like, that as, like, a standalone concept is not something you're
Yeah, it's just like, wait, dragons here? What?
Just in the town.
Just in the town. Man, it'd be super great if I had a cleric on hand who might know more things. Like, Nadia's the least useful person in this situation. I don't know. Okay, where did I leave the other two? Because Fletcher's back at
the Marked Bird, and I think Kay had been working at her family's store. So it's evening. Evening, she's either having dinner at home with her family or maybe coming to hang out with you guys. I don't know. She can make that choice.
Okay.
Maybe I should have dinner with my family. I feel like I've abandoned them for a little bit. Maybe I'll see you guys for dessert.
Man, I guess sure. Since Nautia recognizes the gnomish woman, she's gonna sort of approach, I guess, and just hi, I'm sorry, I couldn't help over here.
Oh, it's you again.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, what do you we're kind of in the middle of a thing.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know if I can help at all, but I don't know.
Well,
is there anything you need?
Yeah, Owen is, and you can see there's a human man sort of like moving off in the direction of the Temple District. Owen is going to see if he can find any of the slingers with divine connections to see if they can help. Do you know where the barber lives? Where his shop is? Yeah, I think we're probably gonna need him. Yeah, in the Market District? No, you don't know where the barber lives. Okay.
No, I don't. I just got here.
Probably not. Not unless you want to, like, help carry people, I guess.
I mean, I can do that. I'm pretty strong.
Okay, yeah. Then why don't you come with me and you can help me with the littler folks?
All right. If we end up anywhere near the Marked Bird, I will pop in on the way.
So
I have no idea where we are.
The residential districts sort of like hug around like the government and the Market District and stuff. So you could sort of like, you're not necessarily gonna go past it, but like you could go there and come back or something. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having difficulty with my mute button. Just like it's touch, but there was a mouse over it. Anyway. Yeah, I'll sort of get directions on where to go and then like swing by the Marked Bird and stick my head in and tell Fletcher that like there's some sort of weird illness. I don't know. I'm going to help them, but I don't know if you know anything.
I mean, I haven't heard of anything myself. Do you know?
Is it something about dragon's fire?
Can I see if I recognize
here?
that?
Yeah. What kind of skill you got that you want to use? History would be an appropriate one. I think you have all the knowledges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Yeah, I can do knowledge history. Let's try that. That's a 22.
Yeah, so this is something, luckily no one in your family when you were growing up was ever afflicted by this, but you have heard stories that this is a thing that can take down, like, entire households. The symptoms vary depending on the person, but it gets its name from the fact that lots of people wind up with a pain that feels like burning in their limbs, and then those limbs tend to blacken and look like they were burned, and, you know, become gangrenous and sometimes self-amputate if they don't get amputated by a barber or surgeon first. So that's nice. But there are a lot of other symptoms that can come along with this, too. In addition to
medieval disease. Sorry, wasn't
maybe
there a medieval disease similar to that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is.
Where are they getting there? All right. Sorry.
There absolutely is. Yeah, so there are a bunch of other symptoms that can come in addition to the burning in the limbs or instead of. But yes, Nancy, you are absolutely correct. This is a real thing. But
I was like, I thought I read about this one.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, my home
There
game...
were so many horrible diseases back then with, oh my god.
Exactly. But my home game DM included this in the game, and I was like, that was genius. So you guys have to do it now, too. And then we can talk about science.
Oh boy.
Do I know anything about, like you said, it can take down like households. So does that mean like, or do I know is it actually like, do I know that it spreads much more than that? Like it's highly contagious and it's like a threat to the whole town as well?
I mean, yeah, often towns, or at least segments of towns, a whole bunch of people will get it.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, then I think when Nautia says that, I think I'm like, let me pack up my stuff, and I start like arranging all the stuff I've been going through for the report into the piles it needs to be in, so I can take it back to my room in some sort of order, and then come back down to go with Naughty. I'm like, okay, take wherever you were going to help. Take me. Hopefully, we can find Kay on the way or something. Cedric, I couldn't get Cedric up. I tried to get him out of bed, and he was non-responsive. So hopefully, I left a note on his door. If this is actually what they're calling it, this may really not be good. So let's go.
Okay. All right, let's go rejoin the group, I guess.
Kay, had your thought been that you'd want to meet up with your friends at some point in the evening?
Yeah, dessert, definitely for some ice cream, which I think is not going to happen, but I can imagine Kay like running over and be like, ice cream time! Like burst the doors open and there's no one there. And Liam's like, oh yeah, they left a while ago.
Yeah, we left a note with Leon?
Yeah, we can say that Kay catches you in the street as you're going in one direction. She spots you.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, you see Fletcher and Nautia in the street leaving the Marked Bird.
Hey, team, ice cream. What you doing?
We're helping some sick people, I guess.
Is it contagious?
Maybe, but we can maybe help.
Yeah, if it's what they said it is, it can be quite contagious. It sounds like they're already dealing with several people with it. I don't know, maybe your parents. Did your parents say anything about this? Have they heard about it?
So, sorry, to clarify, Fletcher, it's not contagious in, like, someone who cares for someone suffering from dragon's fire, or like the barber or surgeon who comes and does amputations. They don't usually contract it. So it's not contagious.
But people
like
can
that.
continue to acquire it.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yes, but it's not necessarily contact.
Like person to person, it could be like original source. They may still continue to acquire it.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to describe this in a way without giving away what it is.
That makes
Okay.
sense. It doesn't go from like host to host. It has to be acquired by like each individual
Right.
person has to get it from the original thing, but then they can no longer transmit it to another person.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're heading out. Nautia ran into these people, so we're going to try to go help however we can.
Okay. Okay, I guess follows, but is like
Mm.
like behind them slightly.
Gotta put on your fantasy N95.
Your plague doctor mask.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I can get my plague doctor mask that's back there.
That's
Yeah.
Fantasy N95.
Mhm.
It kind of is though, isn't it though?
Yeah.
Because like
Stuff some
they
herbs
like
in
put
there.
herbs and stuff in the
Herbs,
nose. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it filters the stuff. I mean, if it's long enough, it's like 6 feet of distance. So
Mhm. Jeez. So Nautia, the the
I'm just
area.
picturing a 6-foot-long plague doctor
Yeah,
mask.
make you fall over. Nautia, the area that you were directed to, you can see there are some lights on in sort of like there are 2 houses on this street. One kind of like nicer house, and then like a much smaller house, kind of. They're distant from each other by quite a bit. And you can actually see the gnome woman that you were talking to is kind of at the door of the nicer one.
Okay. So I'll go up that way.
Okay. And so she introduces you. This is actually the home of, let me make sure I got the notes correct. Yeah. This is the home of the ambassador of the Gnomes in New Seychester. And he and his wife and daughter all need assistance. So the plan is that they're going to sort of like lay everyone out in the greenway of the government district for care, because it's nice outside and that's an easy way for them to sort of all be in an area where they can receive care together. So
Yeah.
yeah. And you can see there's also a young halfling woman who had been in the group earlier is moving people out of the other house. So it looks like maybe her relatives are also being brought to the same area.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
are
I
you
can just
helping
help. I
carry
can help
gnomes?
carry. I am strong.
So the wife of the ambassador is complaining of the burning sensation in her limbs, especially her right leg seems to be in a lot of trouble and could wind up becoming one of those sort of charred looking limbs. The daughter is experiencing tonic-clonic spasms, so she's seizing. Yeah. And the ambassador himself is conscious, but he has been sort of struck with a paralysis where he is kind of stuck like this with his neck and back stiffened and in arched position, so he can't really walk himself. So he and his daughter are probably the ones that need the most help in this house.
Yeah. If there's someone else there that can help lift, I'm more than capable of helping to carry.
Team?
I am not strong.
They are gnomes, though.
Well, they're gnomes.
Yeah,
I
they're
would
small.
think
They're small.
Kay and I together. I mean, like no matter what, you'd have people on like both ends of a person to help carry. So like Kay and I, we could easily also be carrying while Nadia's working with like the other
Salty,
person.
Yeah, if I was
Yeah.
working with like another gnome that's
Yep.
closer to my height.
Then that's
Yeah.
true.
So that's the dock mistress. She introduces herself, and like Kay already knows this is Salty. She's in charge of the docks. And she's a no nonsense, take charge kind of person. So yeah, she organizes like blankets for y'all to use to carry these people back to the government district, where you can see there's quite a variety of people that have been laid out on the grass on blankets and things. There's a
Are you
bunch.
sure I won't get sick, Fletcher?
No, you should be fine bringing them out here, Kay. So, and I wanted to ask, with my last role, knowing about the disease, would I also know about where it or how it tends to originate? Like, so I would now be thinking, well, and there. Would I know from that? Would I know from that role about like how people acquire this?
So the source of this is not known. Fun
Okay.
fantasy ye olde, not knowing everything about science. Yeah. So we'll say that the source of this is not known. People know that like it's not a constant thing, like it's not like the common cold where you can catch it all the time, but it sort of comes in waves and will, hit a whole town or part of a town or something like that and then not be seen again for a long time. Yeah.
Okay. And now do we have is everybody...
Yeah. So
they're bringing everybody out there who's been afflicted, right? Okay.
Yes. And you also see Kay knows Bresh Candia is a half-orc who's the barber in town, and he's been brought because in olden times the barber also played the role of the surgeon. And then Owen Chapman...
And dentist.
And Owen Chapman managed to find 2 clergy members in the Temple District who were still, awake and available and whatever. So you've got Brother Lawrence Barrett and Terwyn Cardiff, who's she's the sort of like overseer of the temple or the worship of Bokob, the god of magic. So
If
those
only
2...
we had a cleric we could provide.
I know. If
them.
only.
What was the first of the 2? I didn't catch it.
Brother Lawrence Barrett. He's a priest of Paylor.
Okay.
So you have 2 clergy members, and also the surgeon, and everybody is sort of looking around trying to figure out what sort of triage needs to be done, because the clergy have some spells that can be used to help the afflicted, but they don't necessarily have spells enough for everyone. So you need to sort of, and I will leave it up to you to do the triage. So there are 2 children with status epilepticus, which is either a single seizure lasting more than 5 minutes or having more than 1 seizure within 5 minutes, which is real rough, not good.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 more children, that's including the gnome that you brought, having the tonic-clonic spasm, so seizing but less frequently than status epilepticus.
Okay.
There are 2 children and the adult gnome with the opisthotonus, I think is how you say it, the stiffened neck back in an arched position. There are a handful of people with the burning feeling in their limbs, and then another handful of people. And Peter, the bookshop owner, Pater, is one of the people suffering from burning in the limbs. Yeah. And I make you care about the NPCs and then I hurt them. And then there are a few more people who are suffering from hallucinations, diarrhea, and facial spasms. And Bresh is standing by ready to amputate the problematic limbs for people so that they don't continue to be problems.
See, this is where we get into the dilemma of Cindy knows much more about these things than Nautia does. Which is ironically how I met you, Sheryl.
Right. Exactly.
Because Izzy also knows much less medicine than Cindy does.
Mm-hmm. So now you get to decide who you want to give help to, and there are varying levels of help that can be given based on the spells that the clergy have at their disposal.
So the people, the burning in the limbs, do you see the
gangrene?
I can't word today. Yeah, can you see like the gangrene setting in at that point, or is it pain first and then the gangrene sort of comes later?
Not at this point. So right now, the people who have the burning in their limbs, they're each complaining that like all 4 of their limbs feel like they're on fire, but one feels even more so. But Salty explains, because she's seen this before, and Fletcher would probably know this as well from, having seen or heard of the disease before, that like limbs that are going to go into that sort of like charcoal looking state will feel like they're burning, and then the burning will sort of give way to numbness, and the person won't be able to feel the limb at all anymore, and then it will sort of blacken and gangrene. Yeah.
How do we know how quickly this usually progresses? Like, if all these people were just found with these symptoms, like, does that mean this all set in within the past 24 hours? This all happened suddenly? And how would we expect each of these like sets of symptoms to progress? Like, for each person to get worse, how fast will they get worse?
Yeah. So they all of their symptoms presented at some point this afternoon, this evening, which is why everybody was coming looking for help at approximately the same time. Okay. You do know that this is, it can be deadly. That's why the surgeon needs to, remove the problematic limbs so that the gangrene doesn't, poison more of the body. But also people who are experiencing some of the more severe neurologic symptoms can die too. So if it's not treated, it can be deadly. Yeah. Or at least disfiguring. Lots of people who survive Dragon's Fire wind up with, some sort of chronic tic or some bit of paralysis, or, are missing a limb or something. Yeah.
And do they know how long that process normally takes?
The process to like die, is that
both how long till dying, or like the limb?
Pretty quick. Like it can be
like
within a day kind of thing.
Within a day.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like hours.
Yeah.
Do we know the list of like things available that we can do, like the spells, like what each of the clerics can do?
Yeah.
At what level?
Yeah. So the clerics have at their disposal, between the two of them, what they had already prepared ambiently, just, as they're like, these are the spells that I prepare every day in case somebody needs them. They each have 1 remove disease, 1 remove paralysis. Between the two of them, they have 3 delay poisons. And they have, Terwin has 1 neutralize poison. And those are all spells that people know have worked in the past on this disease.
Sorry, it was 3 each of...
Not 3 each, 3 cumulatively delay poison.
3 cumulative delay poison.
Yeah, 1 each remove paralysis, 1 each remove disease, and then 1 total neutralize poison.
I feel like, I mean, the ones having constant seizures seem like the worst problem at the moment, right? To anybody else? Since Nautia's
I think so.
Big ol' int 6 is not going to be able to tell much more than that.
I mean, Kay's like 17 and not a doctor, so she's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you've also lived in a town and are not int 6.
I mean, I feel like status epilepticus is like, oh, that person is seizing and they're not stopping. Like, I feel like anybody would know that that's bad.
That's pretty. That's pretty damn scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's never a moment that that they're responsive or anything.
Yeah.
I would think.
So
those are probably the worst.
One of those is the son of Summer and Owen Chapman, who own the Weathered Cloak, where Cedric had commissioned his shirts. And the other is the son of Fastoff Oldbuck, who is the halfling blacksmith.
Okay. Like mostly kids, right?
There are a few. Yeah, there's there are.
You told us about 7 kids so far.
Let's see. 1,
Specifically.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Chapmans have 4 kids. 7, 8, 9. There are 9 kids. One of them is not sick. So Sophie Oldbuck came. She's sort of like a young teen. She is the one who came seeking help for her family. Her parents and her younger brother are all sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there are also a few adults, too. So there's 1, 2, 3... Oh, yeah. 1, 2...
And we can't fix all of them.
3, 4...
We have to choose.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10, 11. There are 11 adults, too. You can't fix all of them, so you're going to have to figure out who you want to help.
There's not enough spells for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There are...
You got a cleric.
Mm.
Do we know... What do we know about the general, prognosis after each of these things, especially specifically the limb removal to stop the spread of that? Is that usually you stop what was going wrong so it doesn't reach into the body where the person would die, or is that just still a stopgap measure and it'll still come up in other limbs?
So the amputation is basically a preventative, because when gangrene sets in, that's the rotting of the limb, right? So that could then cause poisons from the rotting to flow into the body, right? So it's
sepsis and all kinds of
it's sort of a preventative. Amputation doesn't necessarily stop dragon's fire. So you've seen people have to have multiple limbs amputated before, or that, again, once they become that sort of charcoal look, they'll self-amputate sometimes. So the amputation doesn't stop the dragon's fire. It's more to prevent sepsis from the gangrene. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But like I said, you've seen people survive having the burning in their limbs. Yeah.
How many spell slots do we have total that we can help use?
8.
Yeah, 8. But again,
and there's 11 people who are sick.
Yes. However, asterisk. Delay poison is not a
It's only
cure.
a
Not a
slowdown.
cure.
And remove paralysis is also not a cure, but it could provide relief to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't. The only things we have, we have 2. There's 2 remove disease that we have. That would be remove the
So
whole
basically,
thing.
who are the 2 people in the most danger at the moment?
And 1 neutralize poison, which would also, that spell also is a cure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, probably the 2 people who are seizing, right? Like we talked about. And then who's the next? I feel like the paralysis people, we could just do cure paralysis and then wait till tomorrow, try again.
The funny thing is I almost took a poison spell today out of paranoia because there are scary people in town, and then didn't. So I do have detect poison, which may be helpful in another way.
That could be useful.
But otherwise, I've got cure light wounds and cure minor.
We also have a neutralized potion on us.
Oh, do
we?
The smoky potion that we got detected by.
We have one
do
potion of
neutralized poison.
We have
one potion of neutralized poison.
Okay.
Look at me! I took notes last time.
I did too. It's just on another page.
Giving up their potions to the NPCs. How nice.
I mean, we already cleaned someone's closet out.
You did.
Keep going.
This is totally totally how D&D is usually played, right?
I mean, last night in my home game, we talked down a wraith instead of fighting it, so, like, anything is possible.
That is fantastic. Love it.
The two children and the adult with that are epistotonic,
Yes.
that also really worries me, because it's like they're in like a full body constant paralysis. Like it's not a seizure, it is like, so it sounds, you know, their airways are going to like stop.
Yeah.
Like that it reminds me of oh god, what is it? Is it tetanus? Like the late stages of tetanus,
Yeah,
you go into
you
that
walk
complete
up. Yes.
you go into the complete, and that bowing of the body is like the end stage of tetanus, and and your body just, your entire body goes paralyzed.
Yep.
And so
Yay, vaccines.
Yay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so the epistotonic individuals, there's 3 of them, and then there's also 3 people with the tonic-clonic spasms. Yeah.
So are you saying that they're like too far gone and they're not worth the effort?
No, I think they are, in terms of triaging, I think
They made
they
priorities.
are in very bad shape also. Like there's the people who are in the constant seizure, but then there's the people who are in the constant this paralysis, which could kill them very, very early.
So with our potion, that now gives us 2 neutralized poisons and 2 removed diseases.
Yes.
And all the while, you are sort of making a list of the presentations of the symptoms and conferring with the clerics. The other people are like setting up torches so that everyone can see, and bringing, you know, water and cloths and other basic care type things out, and, you know, doing all that sort of
And they all came from sort of this immediate area?
The residential districts are behind, so they all came from various corners of the residential district. But yeah, you have humans and halflings and gnomes and, humans and halflings and gnomes, a variety of ages, male and female, whatever, yeah.
Do halflings and gnomes like naturally resist poisons? Because I think
that's dwarves.
Okay.
Only dwarves,
Dwarves.
yeah.
Okay. I was like, well, if they can just resist it, they can hold on a little bit longer, no?
There is a dwarf in the crowd, though. So Vamdana Greybraid, so she owns the weapons shop. She brought in her employee, her coworker, a human man who's having trouble. He's one of the less ill ones, but yeah.
So do we...
Well, I guess.
So, Fletcher,
I mean,
were you thinking
maybe,
like...
I was going to say, I mean, first it's kind of like maybe a little procedural, but it's like, do they even want our opinion on what to do? Because we're literally some random people in town, and we're going to stand there and be like, do this to all these people. Like, what? Why would they care about what we have to say when there's clerics and the barber and all of that? So I guess it's what is the opinion of the people doing this, and if they want help or not?
I mean, I'm letting you make those decisions, because a lot of the people, like I said, who brought in their, you know, friends and family members are sort of doing the nursing care at the moment. So yeah, if you wanted to sort of, and again, like Kay knows Bresh, so you can sort of be like, hey, we'd like to help by, you know, triaging so that you're not trying to run all over the place or make these decisions all by yourself. Yeah.
I will also offer, once you pull out the potion, I will offer to go over to Pops and see if they're there and see if he has anything. Because we were just in a potion shop and I see the bottle of potion and go, oh, hey.
If you're going to go over and try to get him up, I mean, I would probably, in this instance, probably give you the coin purse of group money to be like, hey, if there's literally even one potion that he has that could help, like, spend the money.
Mm-hmm.
So
Our DM is like, what are you doing?
No, it's a really good idea.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go over to Pops.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna be up.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
Oh
this
no.
is not where I thought that was gonna go.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll play over to Pops.
Oh no.
you could if
Oh no.
oh yeah, you know where Pops is, but I wonder because there's also Elsa, but I don't know if she would have anything for this kind of situation. But you wouldn't know where she is, so Kay or I would have to go to Elsa to see if she has anything, because Nautia has never seen that shop or been there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Nadia.
Yeah, I'll fly over and knock on the door of Pop's shop.
Okay, so you fly over and the shop, dark, quiet. You knock on the door and nothing happens.
Huh.
Make a... Yeah, perception is fine for noticing this. I won't make you do a search check.
Okay. Thank you. Oh no.
We have a reroll. Try again.
We have several rerolls.
11.
11 is good enough. This is really simple.
Okay.
The door had a handle on it when you were here before. There's no handle now.
That's how I also tell people that I don't want company.
You just remove the
Like, there's
handle.
is there like no handle in it and it opens, or is it like no handle, like you can't even open the door?
No, there's no handle and the door is closed.
Should play around the backside.
Okay. There's no other way in and out.
There's no like
whatever.
back door. Are there any windows?
All the windows are dark. Yeah.
It's dark.
And they're dark and shuttered, but yeah.
It's like Naughty doesn't know how cities do.
Did not think about this. Oops.
Nope.
Good idea, guys.
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, I guess she might try knocking on a window. Just at random, pick a window.
Knock on a window.
Probably still nothing, right?
Yep.
Cool. Was
You
this
said
right
it's
next
evening,
door?
right?
Yeah, it's getting dark outside. It is summer, so the light lasted a little longer, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
it
that
is
means it's,
after
like,
business
late.
hours, essentially.
Yeah. This is next door to the other shop, right? The one with our new friend.
With your new
The chaotic shop of all the
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, I
Trinket?
have completely
The
forgotten the
lightning
names
bugs.
of everybody
Oh.
and everything.
No, Trinket's
Or
shop
Trinket.
is Trinket's shop is next to the bookshop, and it's kind of on
that's
the
right, that
other
was the
side of the
bookshop. That
market
was over on the other
district.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, dang. Okay, that was my bright idea.
No,
And
it was,
then they're
it
not
was a good
there.
idea.
Shoot. Yeah, I guess if there's no one there, she doesn't know where else to look, so she'll just go back, I guess.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
Whoops. Okay. Yeah. Come back and say I no luck. Is there anyone else that might be able to help? Cause like there's another potion shop in town, right? Naughty doesn't know that, but other people do.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
there is. Yeah, there's Elsa's
Elsa.
shop.
I guess.
But also, I just want to be like, where is Pops then? wonder if anybody in the crowd knows where he goes at night.
Yeah.
After business hours.
I mean, I would just assume he went home.
Are you like having this conversation out loud?
I'm assuming.
Probably, yeah, because when she comes back with nothing and is
Like, where, what the hell?
it tells us that it's no longer a functioning door. Yeah, I feel like we'd be like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man, who on this list would know that? Probably Salty again. She gets around.
Oh, now
she
she
knows
knows
what's going
everything.
on. Yeah, okay, so she overhears you and is like, oh, give me a sec. And she, like, storms off in that direction.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So she's gonna go find him and make him give her potions.
Uh-oh.
I feel like she might have more success than us too in making him give us potions.
He likes you.
Yeah.
and
For a
we
price.
were gonna demand them. Like I gave Nautia the gold. Like we were even gonna like buy them for this. Like
The DM is like, don't spend your party gold on the NPCs.
Please don't.
we would though.
I know you would. It's the thought that counts. All right, so what are you doing? It sounds like maybe you decided that the two with the status epilepticus would get treatment from the clerics right away. Is that sort of the deal?
I first want to know those two and the two kids and the adult that are epistotonic. Do they present with any other symptoms? Like, can we see anything about their limbs to show that anything else has progressed, or are they just showing those like neurological things right now?
Yeah, right now you're just seeing neurological presentations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now we have 4 things right now that can cure people. That remove disease and neutralize poison. And then we can treat 2 more people of their paralysis symptom. And then delay. I'm guessing delay poison would like cause the burning to subside and delay the progression of that like gangrene in a limb. So there's really, you could do that and the person could start having seizures. Like there's no like.
Well, so basically delay poison just like sort of hits the pause button on symptoms.
On the progression of the symptoms.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if you did that, then like in someone with burning limbs or whatever, like their limbs would stop hurting for the moment and they wouldn't present with anything else. Yeah. Until the spell wore off.
I mean, I feel like Kay would just like hand the stuff out to the people, like the epileptic people and the people who are like frozen and paralyzed. But Fletcher seems more of an expert on the case.
No, that's who I feel like. Those are currently the symptoms that could kill those people. Like immediately, even if the people with the gangrene, like you might cut off limbs and they may still die in the course of the coming hours. The paralysis seems like that is right now. That I feel like that's who we would want to cure. And Sheryl, I wanted to ask about at what level are those clerics casting delayed poison? Because it's an hour per level.
Oh,
so I wanted to know, like, are we only getting an hour out of that, or do you get 5 hours and it's the midnight and it spell slots? Like, I don't know. Like,
sorry.
Or if they can rest, like it's long enough for them to rest, or something.
Right.
I imagine it's probably only going to be like 2nd level, 3rd level. Like, I don't think it'll be that high.
So that is
We have an epic badass cleric who's like, I'm level 35.
well, Terwin is fairly high level because, again, she's the sort of like, person who leads worship of the god of magic. So, like, she's She's the one with neutralized poison. So
Okay. Oh, neutralize. Okay. But then they both have delay poison. Like one has 2 and one has 1.
Yeah, she has 2 delay poisons.
Okay.
She has 2 delay poisons prepared, and she is. She has 7 levels, and then Lawrence is. Sorry, I should have looked that up for you before. Lawrence is a 5th level cleric.
So we can delay 2 people for 7 hours and 1 for 5 hours.
Yeah.
If those are that's their cleric levels. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you say that one more time? The 2 for
2 for 7 and 1 for 5. Yeah. Oh, hi.
And we have 4 things that can totally cure, but we have 5 people currently with the really bad different kinds of seizure or paralysis.
Okay, Pops is going to come back soon. He's going to help us on that 5th person.
So,
but I think with the decisions on those people, we probably have to make
now,
like who knows if we even have the time for him to get here, tell him what's going on, for him to find potions, I feel like those 5 people we might need to or at least the 4 kids.
the remove paralysis. Like, how long would that last? Because basically, like, that would the danger is the paralysis. So even if we're not curing them, removing the paralysis could take them out of that level of danger.
Yeah. Yeah, and would it remove it so that they can't get that symptom again, or could they relapse into paralysis again?
Remove paralysis isn't supposed to have a time limit.
Yeah, so basically it just negates the paralysis. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could get it again, but it at least would relieve it for the moment.
Yeah.
So
we could at least use those 2 for, or at least one of those for the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just cure the kids and then put the remove paralysis on the adult, and then
On the adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
Yeah, that's what we have to do for the immediately for the neurological stuff, and then the limbs might have to be hey, a lot of the a bunch of the people with the burning or the other things that are adults right now might just have to have a limb removed. That just can happen.
Just while you're having this conversation, definitely not to complicate things. There are also 3 kids with tonic-clonic spasms. So they're seizing just less. They're seizing but less frequently.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you could use the delay on them, no?
Like poison. But that's what we were already. Well. Yeah.
No, I thought we're completely curing 3 of the kids. We're completely curing 4 of the kids who are sick.
Yeah, we have 2 remove disease, 1 neutralize poison spell, and then our potion.
So that's 4. So we're curing the 4 kids.
Yeah, so we can do the 4 kids. So the 2 kids with the constant seizures and the 2 kids with paralysis do a delay. No, do a remove paralysis on the adult, and then we've still got those 3 delay poisons that we could use for the other kids having the lesser spasms.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're oops. Yeah. So you're having remove paralysis on the adult. So that's the Gnomish ambassador himself is getting remove paralysis. The 2 kids with the paralysis are getting cured, right?
We could be like the U.S. health system and be like, how much money are you willing to use this potion?
Yeah, and then
how much is your kid's life to you?
And
yeah,
then
let's turn you into dollar signs and see
Yeah.
how it shakes out.
yeah, and then the 2 kids with status epilepticus cured. Okay, so that
We
leaves
could clear
you,
our debt. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So that
Don't get me
leaves
started.
you with
Do not get me started.
3 kids with tonic-clonic spasms and a potpourri of adults and 1 child with burning in the limbs, and then a handful of
Potpourri.
adults who have hallucinations and facial spasms, but not anything else. Marvin Tanzer is having hallucinations and the burning in his limbs, so he's a little... It's a little harder to get out of him what's hurting, but, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, Salty does come back with 2 potions of neutralized poison and a kind of, like, mixed expression on her face. Like, she's not super upset, but she's just kind of, like, rolling her eyes a
Annoyed.
bit and, like, yeah. Yep. But she got some potions for you. Good idea. So you
That's
have
2 more
2 more of
cure,
those.
basically.
Yep.
2 neutralized poisons. Okay.
All right. And I'm assuming that since no one has even discussed it, that just like cure light wounds, all that kind of stuff is just a non-starter, right?
Yeah, cure spells don't really do anything for this particular problem. Yeah.
That would
Since
only
we
be
all
like
have
if
bags stuffed with cure light wounds.
yeah. That would be like if an amputation went poorly and someone was like bleeding or like
Right.
hurt, we could do that as like triage.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bresh is sort of standing by watching all of this like, I'm ready whenever. You just tell me what to do. I don't want to cut off the wrong thing from the wrong person.
But now we have like, so there's 11 people who are sick, and now we have like 11 different curing things.
Hey, look at that.
So we
Right.
could,
Well,
So
some
we
of
could
them are
do-
just delay.
that's okay, because like we can use those on the patients who like aren't doing that well, and then hopefully like tomorrow they can use the spell slots again.
Yeah. Okay, so basically we have 2 more neutralized.
Yeah, so we have
Potions,
6
which is like a
completely get
full-on-
rid of.
Mhm.
2 of the paralysis, like get rid of the paralysis.
Yeah, well, so you used 4 of your complete
Okay.
cures, and you used 1
Yeah.
remove paralysis. Yeah.
Yes. So the 2 children with status epilepticus and the 2 children with opisthotonus, we've completely cured. We used delay poison on the 3 children with the tonic-clonic seizures
Okay.
to reprieve them. Isn't that what we agreed on? I want to make sure. Okay.
I think so.
And then the gnomish ambassador that was a opisthotontic. Did we
You
use
said
a
remove paralysis?
remove paralysis on
Yeah.
him, right, to relieve him from that? Okay, so that's what we've done so far. So we still have 1 remove paralysis and 2 potions of neutralized poison. That's what we have left.
Wait, the three tonic-clonic spasms we did delay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So 2 of them got delayed by 7 hours and 1 delayed by 5 hours.
Okay. So that's those. And then okay. So that leaves us with
Let's see.
1 remove paralysis and 2 potions of neutralized poison.
Is anyone else paralyzed?
No.
Okay,
You
so we
have-
don't need that one.
Dennis Chapman, so the last child, has the burning in his limbs, especially his right leg.
I I mean, I just say like we cure all the kids we can.
And then there's a handful of adults with a variety of symptoms.
There was one other adult who was like both hallucinations and burning in limbs, right?
Yeah, Marvin Tanzer has hallucinations and burning in his limbs.
Oh yeah,
That
maybe we
seems
should
like
cure
another
him.
higher priority. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we can't. The other people, I feel like we need to. Like we would want to find out if anybody is going further, where they're like, if they had a limb that was burning and they're like, oh, it's starting to actually feel better, like they're losing sensation, then we could be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like then we need to be like, okay, the barber needs to go to that person and
Mhm.
remove that. Like that's really bad. And so the person with hallucinations who we probably can't communicate with might be like, hey, like we might need to cure him. Because we can't assess it any other way. Like,
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. And has anyone made an attempt at the other potion shop?
Oh, I could go.
Yeah. Because Nautia has not been there and is not aware it exists.
yeah, we can try. I know they did kind of different things, so there might not. Maybe she'd have something like lighter duty that could like help delay things. Like maybe not cures, but maybe some like slight helpful triage things. So it might be helpful.
Okay, so Kay is going to potions and notions?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, so we'll hand the money off to you just in case.
How much money do we have?
842 gold.
Woo!
Okay. I'm gonna spend 500 of it on a potion, I guess.
Well, unfortunately, a similar story to what Nautia found at Bubble and Fizz. Potions and Notions is dark and boarded up because it's, late
Is there a
evening.
handle on the door?
There is still a handle on the door, like, during the day. Yes, that has not changed.
Convenient.
But there's nobody inside, it seems like. Yeah.
Okay. I guess
This
like
would be the
Kay
kind
like
of-
knocks on the door and like it's like Elsa like shouts really loudly.
Yeah. You wait for a few moments, but you don't hear a response.
Just go back then.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Ryan?
Is any of the like town guard from the fort or anybody like involved in what is going on, since it's such a widespread thing that like, hey, if they know where people are, like, would they be going to where these shop owners live and like dragging them out of their beds to be like, we're like opening your shop and we're commandeering the things that are needed in town? Like, are they involved in any way? in
Eminent
what's going on?
domain.
Eminent domain.
Domain. That's not how that works. That's not remotely how that works.
So there's like one or two of the guardsmen who have sort of helped like set up, like torches and have then said that they're going off to sort of like do checks in the neighborhoods of the residential area to like see if anybody else needs help that hasn't been accounted for yet, because like so a few of the adults who don't have like families, they were brought in by a neighbor. So, or like, they're, a friend or something. So the guards go off, a few of them, to like go do, wellness checks in the neighborhoods. But no, they're not going to go like force shopkeepers to. But Salty did her best. She got 2 potions from Pops. So.
Salty can get it done. Yeah, I'm just like, again, Cindy is trying to piece together like, hey, is there a commonality with all these people so that we could maybe investigate the source as well? But
don't forget that the people who aren't ill, who, brought them, are around that you could talk to as well. You don't have to just talk to the victims.
I think I would ask that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, since it's not known where it comes from or how it originates, like, I don't know if we would really, like, that's what I thought of immediately too, that like, instead of helping with triage, I was like, oh, Fletcher would probably try to track down the source and like, and, find out what's the commonality amongst people. But if that's like not a thing that's known, like at that level of medicine about this,
Doesn't mean you couldn't try.
And
But
Nautia
it's like,
does have detect poison today.
But it's like, would you even think of that idea?
Oh.
Like in this moment, would you suddenly originate germ theory in your mind and be like, let's track down the well this came from? Like,
Yep.
it's really unlikely.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like that's really unlikely. You'd suddenly be like, oh, surely this is all from, like, I like maybe after the fact, we would like look into it more. But right now it's like, I just don't know. I just don't know how likely it is. That's why I've been like,
We're on
I've been
damage
thinking
control
of that
right now.
Yeah.
Because my thought is also trying to prevent other people from getting sick.
I was going to say,
like if it's something that has clearly just happened, the value in that is going, can we identify what the source is so that we can stop other people from getting into it?
Because you do know that people who have gotten well from this can get it again.
Yeah.
In like pretty short order. So it is something that you can re-get.
I think this is a level of simplicity that might actually be plausible both for Nautia and for sort of the situation.
Okay.
She has detect poison.
Uh-huh.
She just saw a whole family come out of one house.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
Could she like ask, because there was one member of the household that wasn't sick.
Yeah, there are several. Do you want to talk to Sophie or yeah, Sophie Oldbuck is the only person in her family that's not sick. Owen Chapman is the only person in his family that's not sick.
Because I would love to just cast detect poison and then go walk into one of those houses that lots of people got sick in.
Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Yeah,
let me see. I had to find it. My cards were hiding. Okay. Or 5 foot cube. Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, you have to like know the object you're looking at, I think, to detect. It's not like detect magic where it's like a cone that you can like scan.
Yeah.
It's like looking at a thing.
And it's an instantaneous. So you would have to.
It's a one-off. That's it. Shoot.
So you might want to try narrowing it down without the spell first.
Yeah.
So where? So right
Nancy
now.
knows.
Shush.
Right now with the patients, we've basically taken care of or delayed everybody that had some kind of paralysis. Or something neurological, I should say.
Yeah.
And we're using one of the 2 extra potions of neutralized poison on the adult with hallucinations and burning limbs because we can't. Isn't it right? We said we were going to do that because we can't get any information from them.
Okay, so he's gonna be cured. Okay.
Should we save the last neutralized poison to see how everyone progresses? Like, should we save the last spells?
I was gonna ask, do we like at this point now it's gonna be like, hey, keep talking to people and find out when people may need amputation, like to watch how things are progressing. And so we have one final potion of neutralized poison from Pops. Do we want to save that as like hedging our bets in case it's really needed for something, or do we want to use it on the gnomish ambassador who we've only temporarily removed his paralysis? And so that may just do we want to wait to see if that comes back before we use it and if things get worse, or like maybe with that gone he can actually recover and we don't have to use it? Do we want to just wait?
I would say to wait to use it and then like assess maybe in a few more hours.
Also, we did send the clerics off to go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Because the idea is that like they could come back because they had 2 spell slots, 3.
And they could prepare different spells.
Yeah.
And maybe bring more clerics.
Right. So like I'm thinking that we should save it because either like people start getting better, or like wait enough that tomorrow morning the clerics can come with like all of their spells armed and then like cure everyone. Or like what if someone shows up in the middle of the night who's even sicker
Yeah.
And we didn't know because like they weren't found or their family didn't know or like symptoms progressed a lot. So
Yeah.
I feel like if we save the last potion.
That makes sense. Let's save it. And it'll all just be like monitoring people. Basically trying to get people through the night to the point they would need to be at where we could come back and do something additional via magic and have the one potion as a fallback. So some people may lose limbs and whatnot. And I think if we're at that point, so there's like all these other people there who can monitor symptoms and the barber can go where he needs to go and everything. I think that might be when Fletcher would try to talk to people who can talk to just try to, like, for all of this to have happened, all these people in like the exact same time frame, like something happened that for them to have all come into contact or, you know, to have contracted this. So I think I'll start talking to them to just see, like, even just like in the past like day, what have you done? Like give me the overview of where you've been and what you've done, and just be taking down notes and try to cross-reference all that and see, is there, you know, if I can find out a source.
Okay. Gather information check.
Can I also do a gather information check? Can we,
Yeah,
like, all
if
do
you,
it, or?
yeah, so you can either like aid another would give him a +2, or you can try separately. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking like Kay would immediately kind of think of like how the fish was bad and the river was bad, and think about like what are people eating.
And don't forget Pater is in the mix here.
Pater, no.
I think it would make sense for us to each be splitting up.
Yeah.
Like if we were splitting,
And, like,
because there's so
attacking
many
different
people,
people.
we'd be going.
I feel like we would have come together to ask for a like common list though. Like, where were you? What did you do? Who did you interact with?
Yeah.
And like
where have you been?
What have you done in the last 24 hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty.
And hopefully I roll well, because
What are we rolling?
It's a charisma-based roll, and I'm not good at that.
Gather information.
Okay. Yeah, it's charisma based. I actually have hope.
17.
17.
Well, do we have a reroll?
We do. We have 2. Are you using one?
I would really like to use one because that was a 6.
I just rolled a 7. Yeah.
Would you like to reroll as well, or are you gonna save it?
We have 2.
Yeah, there's one more.
Do we want to save it?
I got a 15 on my reroll.
15, 17.
All right. 7.
All right. 15.
I think
17,
you could use it if you want, Cindy.
I'm like, are we gonna need it later?
Yeah.
Like all those potions that Cedric didn't drink. All right. So you ask this extensive list of questions of people, and it takes a little while because, of course, like, some people are like busy or frustrated and, you know, trying to figure things out. So it probably takes you, you know, an hour or 2 to sort of like get through all of this. So it's pretty well late into the night. But comparing notes on all the answers you got, Kay and Fletcher, everybody had rolls with their breakfast this morning. Yeah,
they did.
Nancy's like, oh,
it's fine.
We can talk about it after the break. Calm down. But yeah, they all had rolls that they'd purchased at Do Re Mi with their breakfast this morning.
That's a cute name. How's it spelled? Is it D-O or D-O-U-G-H?
D-O-U-G-H.
U-G-H, obviously.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, Fletcher purchased a loaf of bread from her during the
Hopefully
festival.
not yesterday for breakfast.
No, a festival a while ago. The day when Kay wasn't around. Ever so long ago. A nice halfling lady. But anyway.
I didn't put the symptoms together before, but now that you said it was rolls,
Right.
I immediately was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Has
Now that
anybody
rings a bell.
checked on her?
Well, that's now we know that we probably should go there, and
but it's
and
the middle of the night, so tomorrow morning, I guess.
But I mean, also maybe check to see if she ate anything and she's maybe at home being sick and not getting help.
we could, yeah. I mean, if the guards are checking people, we could specifically go with the guard to like her house, like not the business, and be like, you need to check on her, and we need access to like, hey, where, like, even if you're already thrown away, like, hey, where's a roll that you had for sale this morning, so that we could do detect poison and find out if that is what's in it.
Awesome. Yeah, how about let's take our midway break and then we can deal with all of that part of this after that. Does that sound good to everybody?
Sounds good to me.
That's good.
Sweet.
My
Awesome.
dog wants food. He's
Dogs
passive
want
aggressively sitting next to me.
Oh, well, there you go. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Teal. Hi, Ratateel. Thanks for hanging out and watching. We appreciate you. The team appreciates the re-rolls. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. Go get a snack. Not bad bread. And we'll be back soon. Bye.
I've been like, since the beginning.
Hi, friends. We're back. Took a quick break. Hope you enjoyed your break. But we are back. And the troop was, you were on your way to check in on the owner of Do Re Mi and see if she and her family were in trouble. Is that correct? Okay. So you are escorted by a guard who like is generally familiar with the area, and after knocking on a handful of doors, you find the right house on the street. And Caitlin Hornwood comes to the door, you know, nightshirt, sleepy. And Fletcher, yeah, you recognize her. You'd bought bread from her once before a while ago. And she's sort of standing there blinking in the doorway like, can I help you?
Are you feeling okay?
Yes. Thank you for asking.
Did you eat any bread rolls this morning for breakfast?
I made bread rolls this morning, but I don't usually
But
get
you
to
didn't
eat
eat them?
anything I made until much later because, you know, we sell as much as we can first.
Did you eat any of the bread rolls today?
No? Is there a problem with them?
Well, I mean, we're not blaming you. It just, there's some people who are sick in town, and the only commonality they have are your bread rolls in the morning.
Oh, no.
We're not mad at you, by the way. We were coming
Just
here
wanted to be
like,
sure
make
you were
sure
okay.
that you were okay, because we have like a neutralized poison potion, and we're like worried that you were also sick.
No, I'm okay. Thank you. Hold on a moment. And she like goes back into her house, leaving the door ajar a little bit, and she comes back with like a basket with a cloth and some rolls in, and like, I had saved these that we were going to have. This is from what I made this morning.
Might not want to eat those.
She sort of like holds the basket at arm's length, like. Is there... What's wrong with
Nautia,
them?
do you want to? Well, first we'll
Should
We'll
these
do a
are
quick-
at the
Confirm our suspicion.
bakery?
Huh?
Yeah, she's the baker.
Yes.
Like I can do this once. So like, would we? This is again Cindy thinking, and not the N6 character. Yeah, sure. I'll test these rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, these are leftovers of
the
rolls you
batch.
made this morning and
Yeah.
sold.
Yes.
Then yeah, we'd like to do.
Yeah.
Nautia, can you check them real quick?
And Nautia, the basket's already at your height because she's a halfling, so she's just
Yeah.
holding the basket as
Excellent.
far away from herself as possible.
Yeah. So I cast detect poison
Okay. You detect poison in the rolls.
just for funsies.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try this wisdom check.
Oh yeah, what
to
is
see
it?
if I can
what does
determine
it
what
tell
kind.
you?
It's
What
a
kind of
DC
poison?
20 wisdom check.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede. Oh. Mm-mm.
I just totally dropped the die. Okay, we'll try another die.
We've got a reroll.
You do have a reroll.
No, like it literally, I don't know where it fell on the floor somewhere.
Well,
I
no,
don't
she's
know
saying like in case.
where. Oh, I have a reroll.
Yeah.
This is mostly for fun. This is just to see if I can determine the type of poison.
Mm-hmm.
So 16. So
but
that's
it's a
not
DC
a DC 20.
Yeah. I mean, you're not exactly sure. Like, there's something wrong with this bread, for sure.
There is for sure something wrong with the bread.
Yeah.
I cannot determine what kind,
No.
but I wouldn't expect Nautia to know what kind anyway.
Yeah. 'Cause she's not used
Yeah.
to, like, products made from refined grains, so. But yes, the bread, it is bad.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, maybe we could
there's something
take the
bad in
bread
this.
now that we know that this is the cause and bring it to someone who, like, maybe, I don't know, who in town. Kay, like, takes the basket from her.
Yeah.
Just don't eat it. And
Nope.
she, like, plops
Should also probably check out like the bakery at some point before you start selling stuff tomorrow. Maybe.
Yeah, whatever
Yes.
you made these rolls from, if you still have the same stock of those ingredients, you may want to be really careful with those or just get rid of them.
I had just gotten new flour, so.
Oh, maybe we could check. Maybe we could
Yeah,
take
it
a
could
sample
be
of the flour and bring it. Do you know anyone who can, like?
Certainly welcome to. I guess I'll have to dump all of that. She's sort of looking at you like she doesn't really know what to what to do with this.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you make anything else with that same set of ingredients this morning?
no.
Okay.
Just the.
Well, that's
Well,
good
like,
at
we
least.
can maybe-
Mm-hmm.
We can maybe later check. Like we can check your
Yeah.
bakery and see if it's like all the
Maybe
flour.
we can,
or
like,
if
check
it's
it
just some of the
tomorrow.
flour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll want to check out that tomorrow before you make anything more with the ingredients you
Yeah.
have.
That's fine. I'll be there bright and early. So.
Okay.
Sorry for the
Well, I'm
Get rid
glad
of
you're
those
I'm
rolls.
glad that you're okay. Yeah.
Don't eat them.
Yes. Gosh, I'm really upset that anyone got sick from something I made, but yeah, we won't eat any of those. Well, you have them, so okay.
Yeah. Have a good night, I guess. Sorry, this is awkward and
The most awkward.
we were
We'll just
we were
we'll
just
see you
really
in the
worried that
morning.
you were, like, not okay.
Oh no, I appreciate the concern. Thank you. Yeah,
We'll see you in the morning.
I will see you in the morning.
Okay.
Then we can head back.
So awkward. Oh man.
It's amazing.
Oh,
It was
so
amazing.
good. Wow.
Fantastic.
We want to destroy the rolls, so we'll just say
Destroy the
They're
rolls.
destroyed and thrown away. And
Well, I was like wondering if we could bring him to someone in town who can, like, detect poison. I was thinking, like, Pops, and he could say what it was specifically. But I don't know if.
Oh,
like,
you
I
mean
don't know
like
who would
somebody
be the
else
right
could
person.
try the wisdom check,
Mhm.
is what you're saying.
Right, like an NPC who,
Yeah.
like, makes potions or poison or something.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
also, like if you actually have
Maybe
the
the
craft alchemy
alchemist.
skill,
Yeah, and, like,
you
bring
can-
them
you
with
can
us
do
to the
craft
bakery
alchemy
tomorrow.
check.
Because then
Mhm.
they could, like, check all of the things.
Right. Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
we could keep them then.
Okay. That's fine.
We also then we could also have them to slip to people we want to kill later on too, because now you have.
Wow.
I genuinely
We could
just had
send
this
them in
series
the
of
debt
thoughts.
bag.
I was
With
like,
a nice
because I was
little
like, if we
Thinking
wouldn't,
of you.
I was just doing the series of thought of like, well, we could like put them in the bag of holding if we didn't want to like worry about it exposing anything else. But then like also would that kill the thing? But also we could send it to the bad people.
Would a fungus survive in a bag of holding?
Because there's like no air, right?
Right, yeah. So like we say that like living things can't survive in it, but like why can't living things survive in it?
I think I had always
And if
sort of
it's-
assumed it was like a void with no air.
Okay, yeah.
And if it's the alkaloids that are the actual poison and there was a high enough population and you ate the bread, even though the fungus itself is
Well, let's
dead,
just-
the alkaloids would still be there.
Let's just start at the beginning, shall we?
Yeah, let's just
Okay.
let it,
Let's
yeah.
just science time. Well, Nancy, what were you getting so excited about? What is it? What happened? Why is the bread bad?
Yeah, so it's a disease called St. Anthony's fire or St. Augustine's fire or Holy Fire, and it was typically from the Middle Ages. And basically, their like rye would be infected with a type of fungus, and that fungus creates alkaloids, which causes your blood vessels to shrink. And so reduces circulation, which is why you would have the hurting feeling, the burning feeling, because your nerves and your muscles aren't getting enough oxygen and blood supply. And then the gangrene would get set in because your circulation isn't working well. And obviously, if you're cutting off blood supply, then you have a whole host of other neurological problems that come along with that. Mm-hmm. It's like basically non-existent today. It can be cured with like vasodilators, so it just like keeps your blood vessels open. But the main toxin is an alkaloid.
Yep.
Which is something.
So the pain would be
exactly the chemistry on alkaloids.
Yeah.
So like the pain would basically be like if your foot falls asleep.
Right. It starts out as
sort of
pins and needles, right? Or a paresthesias is the word that I learned. Yeah. And then it progresses from pins and needles to like burning. Yeah.
And I think, people listening may be a lot more familiar with the name ergot poisoning than that's the I think probably
term.
the more
official,
common modern term, like ergotism, like Nancy mentioned.
Yeah, and the fungus can infect rye or wheat.
Other cereals.
Yeah, and it can survive harvest and baking, and
if it can survive baking, it can totally survive the bag of holding.
Sure,
I'm just
why
saying.
not? Fungi are weird. Yep.
An alkaloid is a class of naturally occurring organic nitrogen-containing compounds that are frequently found in the plant and animal kingdom. Poison dart frogs have alkaloids, for example.
Yeah, the alkaloids would survive the baking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So definitely still be.
Yeah.
It's probably not the fungus, it's probably the alkaloids.
Right, yeah. And the seed heads would like be sort of like black with this fungus. It doesn't make like a mushroom, like Nancy was doing the one day. It doesn't make a mushroom per se, but the seed head would be sort of like black with the fungus, but like because of the way cereals are usually harvested, like somebody might not notice, but also like back in the whenever, like if that's the cereal you've got growing at the end of the growing season, like that's what you've got and you harvest it and you eat it, because there aren't other options. So
it's weird because like the seeds are actually like they're almost like a purpley black color.
Yeah. But yeah, ergotism.
But like I was saying it.
Yeah, no, go for it.
So when we went on break, I was saying that like I recognized what it was because like I think like a couple months ago there was an article about a woman who actually got it, and it was kind of like a medical mystery for a little bit because they're like, why, like what is even going on? And like all the titles for the news article was like, oh, woman has like middle ages holy fire disease, and I was like, what is this? And read it and like learned about it. But when Sheryl was like, it's called dragon's fire and people's legs feel like they're burning, and I was like, oh, it's like that news article I read a little bit ago.
Perfect timing. But yeah, and so specifically a lot of the patients that you were dealing with had convulsive ergotism. So like all of the symptoms that I said the people had are typical or potential. So there are headache and hallucinations and diarrhea and pins and needles, the facial tics, tonic-clonic spasms, opisthotonus, and status epilepticus. And people who got severe convulsive ergotism, 10 to 20% wound up dying. And if they survived, they were often left with like long-term neurological problems. So like dementia, delirium, basically just not, they don't come all the way back out, which sucks.
It's basically because it's like, I mean, it's cutting off oxygen to various parts of the nervous system, right? So it's just shutting those down. It's sort of the same thing of like, you can have a heart attack, but your heart muscles like won't fully recover necessarily.
Yep. And, the hallucinations from ergotism are what some people believe might have been the cause behind, or like, you know, part of the story of the Salem witch trials and all of the accusations that were made of witchcraft if people were hallucinating. Big group hallucination. Because again,
no, obviously there's got to be a witch making everybody go crazy,
right? But because this is something that would infect, like, not just a single stalk of wheat out in a field, right? Like it'd be in a cereal crop, and a lot of people would consume, so that's why it can hit whole households or whole communities at once, and people can get re-sick because they can eat more infected food.
Yep.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, right.
And since it's an illness deriving from a poisoning, not like the biological thing. It's not like, oh, you get a cold twice, you are more resistant to it or whatever. It's you're just poisoned again. Like there's no, you're not going to be any better off the second time.
Nope. And I mean, even if it was the fungus instead of just a poison that the fungus leaves behind, like fungi are notoriously difficult for us to treat when they get into people.
Oh yeah, we're terrible with dealing with fungi. You get infections with fungi, and you're just there's a whole. That's actually really interesting because the fungicides that we have available to use medically are the same ones that we have to use agriculturally.
Yep.
And so they've already been cropping up, especially in areas like in the Netherlands where they were growing, you know, all these tulip bulbs, and they use fungicides a lot. There were people starting to crop up with these out of nowhere, you know, haven't been seen in forever fungal diseases, you know, infecting their lungs and things because we created fungicide resistant fungi in the fields that can infect humans because we were treating plants.
Yep.
And so now you get this infection with a fungus that is growing in and eating your body, and you can't do anything about it because we're pumping fungicides out into the world, which doesn't just affect the plant disease you want to kill. It's interacting with everything out there. So that becomes a whole new like world of scary.
And we have so few fungicides at our disposal because fungi are actually more closely related to animals than plants. And so like, what can we target on a fungus that wouldn't also be targeting something in or on us or livestock or whatever is a whole problem.
Yeah, the strongest fungicides usually will, you know, that you would take generally will have negative consequences to your own body too, because you're trying to kill something that's really similar to you.
Like if anyone suffers from like toenail fungus, that's why it takes so long to get rid of. One, it's like an area of the body that there isn't as much blood circulation, and the other is like fungicides are like really hard on your body and like do a lot of damage to your kidneys and liver. So when you like, if you ever do get a toenail fungus, you should get that taken care of ASAP instead of waiting too long, like I have seen, and then having to be on the medication for like 9 months to a year.
Oh, and that stuff is it does bad things.
It does, yeah, exactly. So if you're like, oh no, I have noticed a slight discoloration, then like just go to your dermatologist.
Deal with it. Wash everything hot. Keep your feet clean. Do not let that get infected.
Yeah.
Oh, many bad things.
So
many bad things.
So yeah, fungal diseases, ergotism, dragon's fire.
Super creepy and terrifying. Yep.
Yeah. But this is like one of those like, I mean, like we talk about this a lot, but this is one of those moments where like knowing a little bit of weird, cool science can become a whole storyline in your D&D game. So, yeah. All right, is that it? Are we done sciencing for the
Yeah, we get a prize for figuring it out first.
No.
Gold star.
Figuring it out first. Yeah, okay. So what are you doing? Are we fast forwarding to the next morning? Or is there anything else you want to do in the wee hours?
I think the only thing for the remainder of the night would be if does anyone develop such bad symptoms that we would need to use that potion, like before additional resources can be brought in the next day. I think that's the one thing that we would be having an eye on.
So
even if we just left
we
the potion and went to sleep.
Yeah.
We could each take like a watch turn, like staying with the
That's
victims.
true.
It's like I'll
Treat it
take
like a
like
watch.
4 hours. Yeah, treat it like watch.
Yeah.
So I rolled for everybody who hadn't been cured. And the only two people who continue to have problems or like their symptoms are worsening is Dennis Chapman. So the child with burning in his limbs, his right leg is becoming a problem. And then Fastolf Oldbuck, the halfling blacksmith, his left arm is becoming a problem.
I mean, I still feel like that could wait until the morning. Like becoming a problem, like does it
Like,
hurt or can they like not feel it?
They're starting to not feel them, so like they're in amputation territory. Yeah.
Let's see.
Because like once the sensation has left, it's not going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A blacksmith losing an arm would be very, very bad. All we have left is, I think we use, all the spells were used. That's why the clerics left and with the rest. We only have the potion.
Mm-hmm.
So I can also take delay poison the next day if I get to sleep.
Right.
Oh,
These two are going to be like amputate or cure before the morning, like before sunrise.
Ooh.
So what did we still have?
Moral
We
dilemma.
just have a
Just one
neutralized
potion.
Mm-hmm.
What if you split the potion in half?
Nope,
What does that do?
you have asked that question before, and the answer is still no. I applaud your effort.
We tried and we're not able to
Save
get
everyone.
the other. We tried and we're not able to get the other potion shop,
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and like all the clerics that could be found had been found.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no like
Only one of our clerics wasn't drunk.
go into the temple district and knock on some doors.
All the temples are closed up for the evening, so they've all
Yeah.
gone.
It just feels like one of those. It's like worth trying to figure out where the people are that should be there.
Yeah. You think that's what I was wondering about, how are the guards involved? Like, would they would they be seeking people out to bring over to this?
I'll give you a roll to see if they can find somebody else.
So we have
who had
the blacksmith
something.
whose arm is going, and a child whose leg is going.
Guess what I rolled?
20.
One.
A nat 20, which never happens for me. So yes, there is
So-
one more cleric available to cure someone else. So there you
Oh my
go.
god, what can they do?
Lucky
They
you.
can cure?
Yeah, they
Lucky
can,
us! No moral dilemmas for
they've
us.
got,
We
yeah,
just cure
we've got
everybody.
enough to cure. Yep, the
Moral
remaining
dilemma
people.
solved by looking harder.
Amazing.
It's because we donated our potions. So we
Right.
got good karma.
Yeah,
There we
amazing.
go.
A nat 20 to save the day.
So now-
Do-do-do.
so now we can-
Amazing.
Now we can cure both of them.
Yep.
Yep.
Bresh wanders away like, I guess I wasn't needed. Okay. Better luck next time, buddy.
I mean,
Not
That's a
yet.
good thing.
You never know.
Right, yeah.
you don't have to butcher any children today.
Right, yeah. He wasn't
Congratulations.
looking forward to it. He's just like, well, I guess
No.
he's just been standing around awkwardly the whole time, like waiting for something to do.
I mean, if we need you, it's good to have you there, but
Yep.
also, oh man, all of the poison and like remove disease stuff is all druid level 3.
Yeah, they're all pretty high level spells, which is why I was
Higher
like, there
level
aren't
spells.
that many available even among all of the clerics in the city,
Yeah.
because like, you know.
Yeah, so actually that would mean that Cedric wouldn't have been able to do more than
He would have
delay
been able to
poison as
do. He should have been able to do the same amount as Lawrence Barrett, the human, or yeah, the guy cleric that helped you at the beginning. If he'd prepared the right spells,
If
would
he
have
had
been able
them,
to
yeah. He
remove
might, yeah, who knows? He
disease,
might have
yeah.
only had curing, like
Right.
cure wounds and stuff. So
Yeah.
those two people, that's basically what developed overnight, like during our watches.
Yeah.
So we were able to
Mhm,
like
mhm.
administer those things on different watches and take care of that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
cool.
Everybody's fine. Yeah. Woo.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Nice. Awesome.
Does that mean are we able to get them through to the next morning, and clerics are able to come back with all just like able to cure because we just got people through the night, basically.
Yep.
Through the like the terrible part where we couldn't.
Yeah.
Good job,
everyone
team.
cured.
Right. And like
We did it.
obviously the people who had been really badly off that you did cure sort of at the beginning of the process, like they're still not like up and dancing, but you know, they're yeah, it's yeah, they're all not dying now, which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is good. So that happened.
So yeah. I would definitely take detect poison a few times and head over to the bakery in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah,
that's
were
the
we
next thing
gonna
we're
like
doing.
drag an alchemist out there too?
Find one.
Maybe if we find more things that poison are detected in, then we could take all of those samples
All of the
like
things.
to the
That makes sense.
alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd probably like once we finished our watches there, I'm guessing it would then be like early morning, the clerics come back in, and we could head over to the bakery, and it's probably when she would be getting over there and opening up. Okay.
Also, figure out where she got the flour from.
Yeah. If we can figure out like, is it, which
A
kind of
poisoned
flour?
wheat
Like where is it?
source.
Yeah.
In the opposite direction, that will take 2.5 months to resolve.
All right, so you're headed to the bakery.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she's like not open for business, obviously, because she's sort of like walking back and forth in her shop, wringing her hands.
Yeah.
Like she's got her apron on, but she's not doing anything, and her 3 kids are sort of standing or like leaning against the counter, just like waiting to, like pretty bored. Kay knows the feels when you work in the family business.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's just sort of like pacing worriedly when you guys get there. Good morning.
Hi.
Is everybody okay?
Yes. Everyone
Mostly.
made it. There were no amputations. Like, it
thank
was
goodness.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a relief.
Agreed.
So how do I make that not happen again?
So let's find that bad flour and make sure that it's all gone.
Yes. We should start with the flour because you said that was the only thing that was new, right?
Yes.
So let's look at that.
Okay. So she shows you, she got like 3 new bags of flour in the market, you know, like 2 days previously, and used one yesterday on those rolls. And so there's 1 open bag and then 2 more that are sealed.
Okay. Well, I think I can test all 3 in one go, right? How big are the bags?
They're like, what is it? Like 10-pound
Can the
bags?
3 of them fit in a 5-foot cube?
5 feet. Probably.
Or at least part of them.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can fit all of them in a 5 foot.
All right.
probably.
Basically, I'm like, how many
like 10-pound
many
bags of
detect
flour.
poisons am I casting
you can
today?
still-
Yeah. So I would definitely start by just testing the 3 bags and see if all 3 of them pop poison or...
Yeah, when you cast it on all 3 of them together, you get poison. Yep.
all 3?
Well, because you said that you were putting all of them together in the area, right?
Yeah, but like, can I distinguish, like, is it all 3 of them or is it like within the area I see? You
or does it just say?
You determine whether a creature, object, or area has been poisoned or is poisonous.
Oh, so you could just determine the object.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do it once on each of them.
That's
Does
what I'm
that
trying to
have it?
figure out if I have to do it like 3 separate times.
I think like if you wanted it on the object, you might have to just like do it on each one, or you
Isolate
could
the
like put it
object.
in the area and be like, yes, there's poison in this area. Yeah.
Yeah, it might count like an area because there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, do I have to cast it 3 times to determine, or can I cast it once until
That's up to you.
if it's only one of them?
I think our understanding is that like if you want to test each bag individually to know yes or no on each bag, then you'd have to do it on each one. If you just want to know if there's poison in the flour, then you could put however many you want in this 5-foot cube. Yep.
Well, I mean, we know that at least one of the bags has a just by deduction.
Yeah.
So it's just like, because I guess my thought is that we would also be trying to figure out where that came from. So I don't want to blow all my spells on one.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you?
Did all the flour come from the same place?
Yeah, I bought it from a farmer in the market.
So I don't think we need to know. We can just assume that all three. Like the safest thing to do is to assume that all three are.
Yeah.
And then go and to who sold it.
Okay. Yeah. Then we'll just.
Sorry.
Yep. So yeah, I'll cast it on all three of them and say, yes, we found it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we should probably go figure out which farmer.
Should we invite her with us? I mean, she bought it, probably wants money back, or can tell us who it is.
It's also so, because she knows the person and we don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she knows who it is. So we could just... would you mind... I know you're trying to get ready for the day, but now that we know it's the flower, could you take us to who sold it to you, and we can try to sort this all out?
Yes, the kids, she sort of like gives them a look. She's like, the kids know what they're supposed to be doing. And then she like walks out the front door to like go towards the market. Yeah.
Actually, before we go, is there just like another sort of area of the shop that has like sort of a representative collection of things that I could also just test to be sure there isn't more?
Yeah, so there are you looking for like something else made? I'm not sure. Like, are you looking for like,
just basically like, does she have
other
flour? Does she have things like
yeah. So there's she uses a different flour to make like pastries and stuff. So like there are both the flour and the things made from it that are like different.
Okay. I guess I would offer, like, would you like me to check the rest of this?
I mean, if you wouldn't mind, it would be great so I don't hurt anyone.
Right. So I will do another detect poison on like the other flour.
Mm-hmm. The other flour that you test does not come up with anything bad in it. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Do we before we go, do we want to either get rid of this flour, or should we take it back with us to where you purchased it, so it's not anywhere near your bakery anymore?
I mean, I don't want it in here because I don't want to make a mistake. But as to what we should do with it, I'm not really... You're saying that it's poisoned? Like...
Yes. There's something else in the flour that caused this.
Well, that's not great. I hope nobody thinks I did that on purpose. I mean, can it just be, I don't know, tossed out? Does it need to be, can you even burn it? I don't know what to do to get rid of it, but...
I mean, that's why I was suggesting that maybe we can get an alchemist to look at it, because they could tell us, like, what it is and maybe how to dispose of it.
I was gonna...
So let's move it aside in the shop somewhere where it won't be used or contacted in any way, and then go find out, and then we can take a sample of the flour with us to go to an alchemist.
Sure. Tell me
you just rolled a natural 20 on that wisdom
check. Hey, guess what? It's
21!
It's a fungus, Nautia.
It's a fungus!
It's a fungal poison.
Maybe I did bump into it at some point out in the woods.
Maybe. Well, again, like Kay said, alkaloid, or like Nancy said, alkaloids show up in a lot of natural toxins, and there are poison dart frogs out in the rainforest, so perhaps you're familiar with
lots
alkaloids.
Of poison mushrooms, I'm sure.
I was going to say, she's got to be very familiar with the fact that there are some mushrooms you do not mess with.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and Cedric wanted to eat the pretty or lick the pretty frog, so, like... We're familiar with the idea that there are no-go things.
And that's why he's on bed rest tonight.
Now that we know that, we could probably assume we probably like. Well, we know, if we did put it into just like an open fire, that
Mhm.
like that is much hotter than what she's baking at,
Mm-hmm.
and it should be able to just destroy everything.
Um,
And it's not like the ashes would then end up in anybody's food.
important question. Once you had figured this out, did you also like tell all of those people to get it out of, like, get the leftovers out of their houses, or yeah?
Yeah, I would think
I
so.
assume so. Like once we
Like
figured
once
it
you
out,
put
'cause we went
together
back
the
to
bread
watch.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
once
yes,
we-
you
now-
did go
and-
back. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
that we confirmed it's the flour, and everyone is like
Mhm.
probably still out there being taken care of, because like you
Mhm.
said, they're all still like not great.
Yeah.
That's when we'd
Mhm.
probably be like, okay, like let them know, let the guards know, be like that's who you got to find, get rid of.
Yeah.
We're gonna have an open bonfire tonight.
Go take it out to those nasty things that attacked us
The
outside.
flowers.
Oh my god, yes.
Throw it out for the flying flower bats.
Flower bats? I like that. Yeah, so Caitlin shows you there's a halfling farmer in the market who she bought the flour from, and he's selling flour and other things, and is rather appalled to hear that his flour was a problem.
Again, we're not mad at you. We're just like trying to make sure that like
I didn't poison it, though. Like,
No,
don't think you
there's
did.
something that
It-
grows in it, we think.
yeah, it seems like it's like a mushroom or something.
rats.
So you
Like
might
maybe
have,
we could look at your field.
I mean, sure. I guess. Yeah. If you want to.
Field trip.
I'm
I'm sorry. Peter's not here to hate that more than me. So now I hate it.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do with all of this? As he's like gesturing to his cart. Like,
well, you can't
Well,
sell
we're
it.
gonna have an open bonfire
Uh.
tonight. If you want to burn it,
sure, why not?
I'm sorry, friend, but you don't want to like accidentally kill people with it. That'll be worse for business than just
No.
throwing away this little.
Yeah.
This-
I just also, yeah, it's fine.
Man, I'm just thinking through because, like, okay, now his mill needs to be
Exactly, like
decontaminated,
people's
and
livelihoods.
his fields.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't need to dig into it that much.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys are equipped to fix that problem. But you can
Acting that
just-
out would be a lot, but just
Yeah.
thinking through the actual process of it.
But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you've told him to not sell it, so it can
Mm-hmm.
be disposed of properly. And the baker knows
Yeah.
not to sell it, so
Mm-hmm.
I think you've pretty well solved the
And-
problem.
Yeah.
And what?
And now, like, maybe they should just have someone detect poison on all new flour that they get, all of them in the town.
Isn't that's like at least the second time that you all have had some sort of like customs and inspection suggestion?
Fantasy FDA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason for it.
I mean, the first time had to have been with the parasitoid wasps, or the not the parasitoid wasps, the thing with the chestnut blight. But yeah,
Mhm.
Oh.
yeah. So what now? You got up nice and early to go check out the bakery, so she could get back to what she was doing.
We have a big bonfire tonight where we burn all the stuff. It'll be
We
awesome
do.
and fun.
What
Like town party.
do you do anything in between the morning and the bonfire, or
Take a nap.
take a nap?
Take a nap.
I mean, but we had a pretty long day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you go, like, if you go to your bedroom to take a nap, there is a sort of, like, long, thin, fairly straight something, wrapped up in just some, like, random bits of fabric on your bed with a little paper note on top.
I guess I read the note first.
Okay.
It's rude to open the gift without reading the card.
And it says, definitely didn't dumpster dive for this. Hope you die less, Azzy.
I knew it was from him. She opens the package. What is this? Very gingerly, because she's like, she knows that Azzy has like sent her like random things before,
right,
and they have gone off accidentally. So she's like,
especially because he said definitely didn't dumpster dive for it, right?
Yeah, she's like, oh God, what is this? Like, why would you put this in something obscure that I can't see through it?
So there is a bow inside.
Wow, that's fancy. Mm-hmm. What kind of bow?
+1 bow. I was a little under on my giving out treasure, and you really wanted a magical bow, so now you has one. He definitely didn't steal it from the dumpster of, like, the naval fort.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Dumpster.
Awesome. Yeah. What is the? I don't know what a bow of +1 does.
I'll send you the stuff later. But yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
You're not going to use it today, so
it's a standard bit
on
of
some
kit.
dangerous rolls.
Yeah. So you die less.
That awesome. Is amazing. Oh my God, having NPC best friends is the best.
I mean, yeah. Twang, twang, twang.
Twang, twang, twang. She's very excited. And of course, he's nowhere to be found. Because that's Azzy.
Yep.
When she goes to, when she finds him again, she's going to like give him a giant hug and be like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's so amazing.
Aww. Yeah. All right. So are you doing anything else besides napping and then bonfire today?
I don't think so. I think Kay is going to be very excited about her bow. She might paint it. Can she paint it?
Sure. Why not?
All right. Kay paints it. So it's very colorful now. Awesome. She found like some little bits and bobs, like, I don't know, like some like common feathers and like tied them to like the corner on the top and stuff. So it's all like, it's like beads.
I love it.
Very Kayified.
I love it.
Very Kayified.
It's all purple and sparkling. All right. So you have a bonfire that night and get rid of all the flour. Is that?
Yeah, I guess so.
You just do it like in the square.
Hell yeah! Everyone's invited. Like we've got the grill going in the back. Like.
Far away from the
and no wheat products.
Right. It's summertime, the perfect time for a bonfire and a cookout.
Especially in a coastal town where I'm sure the humidity is just...
Oh, it's very humid here. Yes. It is. Very.
It's got some prawns going. It's great.
Well, now that like the fish is okay.
Yeah, look at that. I have a fish fry. Amazing.
There we go.
All of the problems have been solved.
All
the end.
The problems have been solved. We did it.
You won D&D.
We won Arda.
Yes.
Is the flower?
Kay is the chosen one.
Is the flower what? Ryan's still concerned.
No, are we gonna like? I mean, it's like in a grain mill. It's dust. It can explode because you have
the bonfire's
high
outside.
Surface. But it can still explode because you have the high surface area of all that powder being flammable. That's why silos like explode, because of the dust in the air is so flammable.
Just fireworks. Just add some pretty colors in it. It'll be awesome.
Just saying, like maybe this is a not
in the center of town
space. Kind of. Yeah.
And like a slow burn, like we don't have the fire and then throw the flour into
right
it.
Yeah,
that would explode.
Kay like is running up with a bucket of flour and Fletcher's just like,
did you ever see the Mythbusters where they did the I think it was artificial sweetener?
Oh yeah
And it was because it was basically they had like a big old drum of it, and I'm trying to remember how, because it was like they put like a road flare or something. I don't remember what exactly they did, but I do remember a gigantic like cloud of flaming. And I mean, it was basically like, if you think about like when a marshmallow burns, that kind of just like,
yep. Yeah.
And like definitely one of those, because it was also like goopy and it like got up in the air and then started blowing towards where they were with the cameras.
Yep.
It was hilarious and extremely dangerous.
Well, that's why you don't put water on an oil fire, because when
Right.
you do, it creates essentially like an oil aerosol, which is going
Yep.
science.
Fun with fire. Science! So you have a nice slow bonfire. Low and slow to get rid of all of the bread products and flour.
Kay's like, make it bigger!
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
All right. What now?
We had a bonfire. It was awesome.
Yeah, if we're pretty much done with that, I think Naughty is just going to kind of resume trying to train the bird.
Okay. Anybody else?
I mean, I'd probably want to just get an actual good night of sleep versus versus the night before. Because the next day, I think I'd probably my space is ready in the academy to arrange things, so I don't have to put things out and clean them up in the tavern constantly to work. So I'd probably sleep so that I can go there to actually arrange and work. And
I feel like Kay, because she was like so busy with everything else, like is now like taking the time to check up on PETA and like asking if he's okay and just like chatting and like being there with him.
Yeah. So Pitter's definitely like shaken by the experience, and like, you know, still not feeling 100%. He's not able to like get up and walk around because his legs were what was causing the most trouble for him. But he is, he's okay. Like he can talk and whatever. Yeah. And
So just some quality time. Kay telling some more adventure stories to him.
Yeah. And yeah, Fletcher, when you go to the Academy of Explorers office, Philippa is very happy to show you the little room that she cleaned up for you. So there's like a desk and a chair. There's a window for nice light, and also, you know, some candles around the room and little like sconces for when it gets dark. And she gives you a little key to the door so that you can get in and work whenever.
probably be doing that and just in and out of the room, going to like where they keep their library area, just like back and forth reference section.
Nice. Is there anything specific you're looking for, or?
No, it's probably just like like we talked about before, I am keeping things like general and like reporting on like things that he said he was specifically interested in, and leaving out things that may like specifically, go back to like Kay, so that so they don't know like really anything about like her story or those kinds of things that happen. I'm just like, there was like these kinds of trees, like it's very like surface level, so it's mainly like reference material about that. So if I'm like, oh, there's this thing, like this leaf is comparable to this thing I worked with before and I don't quite remember, I would go and just get like a reference to be able to be like similar to this plant in blah blah blah, like so very very much just like reference material for writing up that report. Yeah.
Are you doing anything with the field guide that you got? Are you like using that at all or translating it?
I don't know. I don't think I would translate it over. Yeah, I don't know what Fletcher would do with that, because I guess I would be using it as a reference text for what I'm doing, like describing things. Mm-hmm. So I guess my plan would be, I'd be referencing that, and afterwards probably including it like in, maybe not giving it up yet, but it would be part of a submission about like information that it's like, I referenced this, I didn't translate, it's in a different language. Like I reference this as basically like knowledge that already existed in this place about all of these things. So like, like I'm bringing this over and connecting it to information from outside of Arda, and like that's what I'm putting into it. But like, this is what I use. That's a lot of information about what was already here. But probably not giving it up yet, because it can be really useful to have it on hand. Like if I'm not translating it, then it's kind of like, I know I can use it when I need to by, casting the spell that I need. So probably not giving it up yet.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. What about all of the peoples that you met? How much of what you did with them are you including?
I think it's very much the it's a description of people and their ways of living without, trying to avoid descriptors of exactly where they are, so that it's not like, hey, here's exactly where you can go to find these people. So you're going to send out like a troop of explorers to go out there and do God knows what. So more of like general descriptions of them as a people and what they do. And again, comparisons of like, oh, we do it this way. These people do it this way, and these people do it this way. And I have the drawing I made of the gnolls hunting to be like look. So so it's a description of just like, here's how they live, and like look at like this is how like efficiently they do these things, and like what can be learned, and and that sort of thing. But never quite talking about where you can go find them, so that nobody can just go out there. So I think that's how I would describe the people mostly, and then anything that was associated with the people that I want to follow up more on specifically, I wouldn't mention.
Okay.
So like the Miram, like I might talk about like that they like how they tend to their ecosystem, but not bring up pop bugs. Okay. Because that is a very specific thing that doesn't like there is not enough information about what was going on there yet at all. And so I know if I put that out there, there could be like, again, a whole team of people who go out there, trample through there, collecting those things and try to figure it all out. And I'm like, well, I want to figure that out. So I'm not even going to talk about that.
No, that's fair. All right. So you're doing scholarly things in the Academy of Explorers building. Nautia is training the bird. Does the bird have a name? Does the bird have a name?
I did decide on a name.
Bird. Oh, good.
Birdie.
I did.
What's the name of the bird?
So, I went looking for. Basically, I was like, okay, is there actually like a Sylvan language that is extant? And there isn't, and a lot of people just use Latin.
Yeah.
As a substitute, and that actually kind of works because Nautia is also Latin based. So I decided that obviously Nautia is not like her Aquan name because like Aquan doesn't really work when you're not in water. So her friends here who speak Sylvan called her Nautia because she's from the sea. And then I thought, well, the bird's from the air, but that would be Kaylee, which is too much like Kay. But she's from the desert. So she's Arena.
Ooh, that's so pretty. I love it.
Very proud of it.
Nice.
That's the Spanish word for sand.
There you go.
It is. That's literally it. That's it. It's sand. It's Latin for sand.
Arena.
As opposed to
sand.
deserty, which is Latin for desert.
I was hoping you were going to say, well, she's from the air, so I'm going to call her Ariel. So it'd be like a mermaid, like from the water, like you.
Oh, man. Genuinely, I worked on production of The Little Mermaid a couple years ago, so I actually got to see what the names of all of the sisters were.
Sisters?
And one of them,
they're all the seven seas.
One of them was literally Aquata. And I was just like, I almost named Nautia Aquata just because I was like, I want something that on the nose. And then I did like a random name generator that said Nautia, and I was like, there it is. Perfect.
There it is.
Arena. I like it. That's pretty.
Arena.
And you are spending quality time with your family? Is that the dealio?
Yes.
Running
Also,
errands.
like, ran a thought that I had was like, oh, I can imagine Fletcher in his office with like a wheelie chair, like going back and forth between like the library. But the wheelie chair, I just looked up, wasn't invented until 1849.
I was gonna ask when the wheelie
Yeah.
chair was invented. 1849.
It took that long for someone to be like, we have a chair, we can put wheels on it.
Wait, is that?
So you gotta have that kind of wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but I feel like you could put any kind of wheel onto a.
I feel like that's gonna be one of those things where it's like weird that it was invented after something that feels much more technological.
Right?
Oh, I'm sure
It
there's
said
lots.
It said it wasn't invented until the year 1849 that American inventor Thomas E. Warren combined wheels with the swivel for his centripetal spring armchair.
So wait, were there not swivel chairs before that? There had to have been swivel
No, there
chairs.
were.
Okay.
Thomas Jefferson made the
There were
first
swivel-
swivel chair.
Oh.
Of course he did.
I learned that from Downton Abbey.
Thomas
Okay.
Jefferson's list of inventions
Oh, wait.
is such random stuff. It's so wild.
Okay.
Like because he was the one with the weird stairs, right?
Weird stairs.
I don't know.
There was one. I think it was one of the founding fathers. That I think if you go to Monticello, there are stairs that are like instead of like a step that goes across, they are like staggered,
Okay.
and it's like
Oh,
so
I've
for
seen
each
those in
foot.
houses. I've seen
Yeah.
those in houses before.
I'm
I'm
instead of
pretty sure
regular
there's some of those in
stairs.
Monticello.
Huh.
Weird.
Wait, hold
The
on.
man
I've only
had
been on the
some-
grounds at Monticello, but I've never been in like any of the houses at Monticello.
Yeah, no, the man had some spare time on his hands.
Nancy has another fun fact, I think.
One of the earliest known innovators to have created the modern office chair was naturalist Charles Darwin, who put wheels on the chair in his study so he could get to his specimens more quickly.
Oh my god, it's Fletcher! What are you just
My
picturing?
Darwin shirt today too.
I mean,
Oh.
anyone in a lab fleeing themselves across the lab to get to things faster.
Wheelie chair.
That's amazing.
Well, maybe Fletcher invents the wheelie chair.
There's more. The
Oh.
concept of the height adjustable swiveling chair with casters was illustrated by Nuremberg patrician Martin von Kohlberg in his 1505 technological illuminated manuscript.
Oh, so the design is from much earlier, but nobody
Oh.
did it. Interesting.
like
So much
Da
science.
Vinci stuff.
So much science. Draw the picture, don't actually make the chair.
Amazing.
Yep.
Who would have thought a chair with wheels on the bottom is so hard to come by?
Apparently it like happened, like the actual invention of this wheelchair happened with the advent of the rail transport, because then businesses started to expand and then they needed like more bookkeeping office people, and then so the office chair was invented.
Okay. More people spent time at desks, so suddenly they were more concerned with having chairs that didn't suck.
Yeah, the office chair was strategically designed to increase the productivity of clerical employees by making it possible for them to remain sitting at their desk for a long period of time.
Oh.
A swiveling chair with casters allowed employees to remain sitting and yet reach a number of locations within their work area, eliminating the time and energy expended in standing.
All about capitalism.
I was going to
Reducing
say this
waste of time moving
swivel
between
chair
places.
is part of the enslavement of the proletariat.
Come for the game, stay for the random history
Damn
facts.
you, swivel chair.
Once again, we get to Fantasy OSHA. What?
Wow. Well, that
Incredible.
is a fun
Absolutely
fact.
incredible.
That whole thing was way more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, you never know. That's what Wikipedia is for.
Right?
Love it.
Yeah, so does anybody else have anything super important that they think their characters are getting up to at this moment in time? No?
I think Nautia at some point during the day would go over to Pops.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. give me a sec.
Confrontation time.
We also have the book with the lock that we need to unlock.
Oh yeah, you did know that. Got that a long time ago.
I reorganized my notes.
She discovered things.
All right,
That
now-
archaeological excavation.
Hey, Oh yeah, that's another thing I was going to ask if you put in your report. So you're headed to Pops.
Yeah.
Okay, you head over to Bubble and Fizz during the day. There's a handle on the door and all that jazz.
Is it open for business? Can I just walk in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She'll come and just like, hey,
Hello again. You're back.
Are you guys okay? We had kind of an emergency last night, and like there was no one here, and I mean, I guess someone found you.
Oh, yes, Salty found me. Yes, I'm so sorry. I know it was rather unbecoming of me to not be around or available when there was a problem, but I hope that the potions were put to good use.
They were. I
Good.
think they saved some lives, yeah.
Oh, that's really awesome. Thank you for helping people. That's really good.
Yeah. Okay, I just, cause like, I don't know, I guess I thought you would be here. Yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot else there. I was just worried, I guess, because you guys were nice.
Thanks.
All right. This is the worst.
So you have a really high perception. So like you don't see Flubus, but you hear this really wet slap from behind the counter, like he just face palmed. While Pops is talking to you, and you say that.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Mm-hmm. Hi.
All right. Just sort of checking in, I guess. All right. Yeah, and I think if that's it, I think she's gonna just awkward herself right back out of there.
Okay.
Don't you love us? Aren't we the best?
Because it's just this combination, it's the perfect combination of Cindy's just social awkwardness and then Nautia not having a single clue what to do with like most of this city situation.
I'm just like, I don't know what other... Never mind. We're good.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Yeah.
I'm good.
We're all good. They were doing something fun last night and they were out of commission.
Yep. But you still have what you were told, so...
Yeah. So... Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I think she's gonna go back out to... Probably back out to that, if the space out in the government district is open again, she'll probably just go out there with Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of practice some tricks.
Nice. Yeah, the lawn is cleared of people now that the clerics have sort of done all they could do to take care of people, and now they're just sort of, convalescing and needing nursing in their own homes. They've all sort of been dispersed back to where they belong, so you are free to fly your eagle around. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
I feel like Kay was just like, sorry, go Cindy.
Oh no, you go.
I feel like Kay was just kind of like sitting in bed and was like just pondering about things, and then like remembers the locked book and just like bolts upright and like runs to go find Fletcher.
Okay. Where do you go looking for Fletcher?
I mean, did he tell us where he was going to be? I would assume. I mean, I feel like Kay would eventually deduce, if he's not at the marked bird, that he probably went to his new office since she was there during that conversation.
I would, still having had breakfast in the morning, would have been with, at the very least, Nautia and Cedric, even if Kay weren't there, like, in the morning, they would at least know where I went.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you went there, like, looking for me, and you ran into somebody, like, they would know where I went,
We'd get there eventually. May not be fast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of running.
Yeah, so you didn't know, you did not know where I went initially, for sure.
Anyway, so do I find you eventually?
You just like burst
no
into the
regard
academy.
for what you're doing. Literally just like runs in if she can.
Amazing.
I mean,
Well, I mean, you're just like bursting into the academy. You have no idea what room I'm in.
That's
that is true. She like runs in and is like, is there anyone like at a front desk or like around?
There isn't a front desk. You remember the door that the person who helped you the other day came out of.
There we go. I knock on that one.
Okay, you knock on that one, and Vivian opens the door and says, "Hello, can I?" Oh, hi.
Hi. How are you? I was looking for Fletcher. I was gonna go burst into his door, but then I realized I don't know which door is his. But my friend said that he has an office here now, so
Yes.
I was good.
It's that one, and she points at another door. It's like,
Kay like runs over and is like, Fletcher.
I guess I'm gonna say I do have a chair on wheels, and I roll over
Yeah.
to the door and open it, and I'm still just sitting on my chair.
yes.
That's cool. Do all the chairs here have wheels?
Nope, I
Regardless,
invented it.
not all chairs have wheels, but one book has a lock.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh.
third book.
Yeah, I was like reading in bed because like I just got borrowed some new books from the bookstore, and then I was like, oh my god, we have a book that we can't read because there's a actual lock on it. And then I was like, I have to find Fletcher, but then I had to like go to the Mark Bird, and then I had to find your office. It was very hard, but that chair is cool.
We do have the third book.
Who do you think would know how to open it?
I mean, you know the town better than I do. Is there somebody?
Yeah, but I don't know what kind of thing we need to open a locked book.
Says the rogue.
Is it-
You're
I mean, is
killing
it
me
like
right
magically
now.
locked, or is it like a key lock?
Okay, let me re-describe
I just
this.
assumed that it was like magically locked because I thought we tried to open it.
So this is a large book with a red leather cover that appears to have regular slits cut into it on both the front and the back. And then the covers are held closed with 2 vertical and 2 horizontal bands of iron that appear to be controlled by a metal lock. So it like looks like a padlock.
Oh, okay. So it's just like,
We collected this a long time ago, friends.
Yeah.
can
This
I try
is
and
from
pick
the
the
very
lock?
first
Did I ever
campaign.
try that?
I don't think you did. I
I don't have anything in my notes that we tried to do anything with it at the time.
Yeah, we just said that we would bring it to town and someone could unlock it here, like a locksmith.
And then this is our first time back here. We never asked in any other town about getting it open though. We encountered a lot of people.
That's because we are only going back to this town. So we said when we go back into town and not when we get to the next
Not the
town.
first time in a town.
Yeah. The word was specific.
Well, who ended up with that book? I don't think I had it. I only kept the guide to the forest.
Cedric has them. Cedric had the other 2 books.
I think Cedric would have had them because he took the other things because Lucanus had them originally.
They were
Lucanus
Lucanus had them and then Cedric took them. Yep.
So they're probably back at the Mark Bird. So we can you can go try to do it now, or we can do it if you want to meet there after dinner.
Yeah, let me go try now, and then
I'm kind of on a roll.
if I unlock it, I'll bring it to you.
On a roll.
And-
Ryan.
And if
I'm glad you caught that.
It was so subtle.
All right, what's happening? You're going to the Mark Bird to get the book to try to unlock it? Is that...
Yeah, so I'll try and unlock it. So if I unlock it, I'll bring it back here, and if I don't, then we can meet after you're done studying, and I'll just like.
We'll probably be back at the Mark Bird later tonight at like around time to eat dinner.
Okay, that sounds good. I guess Kay goes to go annoy Cedric from his drunken stupor.
Okay, you go and you retrieve the book from Cedric.
I guess I try and open it.
With an open lock check.
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
We have one reroll just in case, right?
We do.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect.
And you have thieves' tools, right?
Yeah, she has to
I think
have thieves' tools in order to be able to do the check.
To do the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember if like she didn't have them and that was why.
A 24.
A 24. Okay. Sorry. Reading.
She's like doing the thinking face.
24. So you put your tools in the lock and you jimmy them around for a moment and you hear the little click of the lock unlocking and you like feel it unlock, but you also hear another click and I need you to make a reflex save.
There it is.
Oh god damn it.
You're just sitting in the tavern and something's about to
This is
out of
not
a
the
book.
first time that Leon has seen this happen.
Are you just you're just doing it in the dining room?
Yeah.
Can we just go ahead and say that she like found Nautia to figure out where Fletcher was, so I am at least tagging along.
I got a 23.
Oh shoot. Okay. Sorry, let me. Yeah. Okay. So you hear the second click, and you drop it like it's hot, and it falls to the floor as these very long metal blades come shooting out of the slits in the covers, and would have cut your hands had you not dropped it first. Shing.
Azzy and I dumpster dive a lot. This is not the first time that something like this has happened. Okay.
Attack book.
I mean, you could have checked for traps, but you know.
I mean, why?
Why? So Sheryl and I
Teenager.
designed a clumsy rogue on purpose.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. The dividends have been. Mwah.
But you didn't get hurt. So now you have an
Yay.
unlocked book with all of these blades sticking out of it. So if you'd like to pick it up, you can do another reflex save to like pick it up gingerly and not get stabby stabbed.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's, because isn't there like a disabled trap?
Yes,
Skill.
disabled device.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Disabled
I guess
device.
I guess I'm gonna try that first. Can I do that? Is that a thing I can do?
Yes, let me... Where's the disabled DC on this? Okay, yeah, go for it.
25.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Wow.
so did you do your other reflex save so you could pick it up to manipulate it?
Oh, I didn't do my other reflex save, so I could pick it up. That was a disabled device. I thought I was disabling the device instead of reflex saving.
Oh, yeah. No, you still have to do a reflex save to pick it up so you
Okay.
can manipulate it, yeah.
The reflex save was not great. I got a paper cut.
What did you get?
A 10.
No, that's enough. That's exactly what
Okay,
you needed,
perfect.
to avoid the secondary. Yeah. So you very gingerly pick it up and sort of like flip the front cover open with a finger, and you find there's a little bit of a mechanism inside the cover that you can manipulate, and all of the blades retract back into the covers. And while
Can
you
I
have...
use some tape or something to keep them there?
Do you have tape?
Chewing gum.
Chewing gum. While you...
Some of Leon's grits that are particularly sticky.
You want to do what? So when you open the cover though to make all the blades retract, you also notice that this isn't actually a book. It looked like there were pages being held closed by all these bands of metal, but it's actually like one of those books that's like a fake book, and there's like a hole inside with some stuff in it. So inside you find 5 platinum pieces and a scroll.
Oh, can I read the scroll?
You can look at it.
I mean, can I guess that was really what I was...
It's a bunch of, like, symbols and stuff you don't really understand. It looks kind of like some stuff you've seen Fletcher working on in one of his books.
I'm confused about platinum pieces. They aren't, like, money.
They are.
They're 10 gold each.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are money.
All right. And a scroll. All right. I guess she'll just take the money and put it in her pocket for now, and also take the scroll.
Okay.
And like run back to Fletcher.
Nice.
Love it.
She doesn't knock this time. She just opens the door. So it wasn't a book. There was this money in it. She hands 4 of the platinum pieces over, and then like, and this one too. And she hands the 5th one over. But you probably don't care about the money, but you are like keeping all the money for everyone. So like maybe you do care about the money, but what you probably actually care about is this. And she like holds it up and it like opens and there's just like stuff on it.
So these were in, all of this was inside the book?
Yeah, it was like, so I like popped open the lock and then I heard this other click, and like I've dumpster dived with Azzy enough. Like there was like a trapped feather duster once, like don't ask. It was really terrible. And so like I'm used to things kind of like exploding. So I didn't think to check, because why would I? It was a book. I thought it was like locked with forbidden knowledge, not like locked forbidden knives are gonna stick out of a weird treasure box. But then after I disabled the device in front of everyone, Leon gave me a real look in the middle of the marked bard, whatever. But then there was this money and this scroll inside, and that was it. It's not actually a book, it's a box. It's a trapped box that looks like a book.
Well, that's, I guess that's a good place to hide things if we ever need to hide something.
Oh yeah, I guess. I mean, it was
scroll,
I mean, yeah, the scroll.
I'll take the scroll from her.
Spellcraft check.
Yeah, and I'm assuming like probably spend some time with it, but I want to see what I know like right off the bat, I guess.
I like how Kay remembers that she can appraise, and like 4 months later remembers that she can pick locks. It was like she was like building confidence.
There haven't been a lot of locks in Arda.
Right.
True.
That's a 24
for spellcraft. Holy smokes! Yeah, so it is a scroll for the spell web.
Web. This is a useful scroll of people who can't normally cast magic. This can be activated and sort of used like magic. It looks like this would do the spell web. I guess you can hold on to this. We can see. It's good to have it's good for more people to be able to do some magical things than just me.
So I'll remind you guys in and out of game that you probably want to look up the rules on how scrolls work. But Fletcher, if web isn't already on your spell list, you can add it to your spell book from a scroll, is one of the things about that. But yeah, scrolls are a whole thing. But yeah, you found some treasure in a book here at the end of today.
And a fake book box with knives.
Fake book box with
she
knives.
She left it on the table, by the way.
Oh, good. Amazing.
She just like got really excited, like grabbed all this stuff and like ran out of there.
Nice.
At least it's disabled, so they can't they can't come out again right now either.
Right. Yeah.
But you could put stuff in it.
You could.
And then enable it and put it through the bag of holding.
We could put it in the
Stab
bag.
that guy.
Amazing. That's called the book cover blade trap, and it's from the book Traps and Treachery, Part 2.
That's
Traps and Treachery. Dungeon Masters. They're awful. But yeah, that's about all the time we have for today's session. So thanks everybody who's been hanging out. We appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed the talk about ergotism and all the science and the discovery about wheelie chairs.
There we go.
the office chairs. Yeah. But yeah, there's video game streams on Thursdays. There's whatever stuff happening on Sundays. You know how to find us. Come hang out in the Discord and talk about D&D and science and memes and things. But yeah, that's all we've got for now. So we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.